Okay. Okay, so here we are. This is our community chat. And the idea behind the community chat is to do a few things. One is hopefully an introduction of really some of the things that we have been working on over the last few months. And so we're pretty excited to share those things. So, first, when I finish just this agenda piece here, I'd like to go around real quickly. So many of you, in fact, I think all of you know one another, but at least to share your name and where you're from. And then, we'll just keep moving on. Thing that we wanted to do today is to share that we have a brand new website, especially we're not totally finished with the website itself, but we have finished the community section of the website. And we hope that it's very user friendly. The second and the biggest thing I think right now that we want to talk about is the co-creators mapping project that we're involved in. It's exciting. I'm not going to say anything more about it because we'll spend a major portion of the time we have with that. The third thing is the World Game that we're going to pilot in June. And we'll say more about that when that comes up. And then the fourth thing is the book that we are going to write collectively and share with one another. So I'm going to stop sharing that, but I thought maybe what we could do is just go around who you are, where you're from, and then we'll just move into the next part. Susan, since you saved our skin, Susan Degaya, why don't you start? But I just remembered that Kira was one person who I got an email from, and I don't think I put her name on sending Susan's
I can do that.
Okay. Okay, Susan.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to be here. And my name is Susan Degaya, and I live in Central California.
Great. Thank you, Susan. Lisa, it's so good to see you.
Hi, it's good to see everybody. I'm in Austin, Texas, Lisa Walker.
And the founder of Compassionate Austin, I might say.
Yeah.
Sarah.
Hey, I am Sarah Jamil and I am in Toronto, Canada.
You are not.
Richmond Hill, Ontario, Canada, close to Toronto.
Okay. Merida?
Okay, so I'm Merida McCarthy and I am in Monterrey, Mexico.
Right. Merida is our new staff person, and she's been involved in Compassionate Monterrey and all the cities around in that area. And Felipe?
Hi, everyone. I'm Felipe. I also work for the Charter, and I am located in Salt Lake City, Utah, the United States.
Okay. And then there's Ola. Oh, your mic's not on.
Sorry, I am Ola. I'm in Stockholm, Sweden, and I've been working with the Charter for a couple of years.
And Donna.
Good morning, afternoon, evening. I'm Donna. I'm in northern Idaho in Coeur d'Alene, and we have our first above 65-degree day. And it's sunny and gorgeous. So
great, fantastic. I think that what we're going to do is go straight into the mapping project. And as Ola is explaining the mapping project, put on your thinking cap, because who is it that you can invite to this project? That's the important thing. So, Lisa, all of Austin and all of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and Richmond Hills, etc. But you'll see the reason for seeing how this can be really wonderful. Ola.
Just a word of background. I think that there are so many people who want to have a better world and don't really know how to engage. Well, people engage in different groupings, but there are so many groupings. So if I take my community, there are 80,000 people here, and I know 6 people who are engaging themselves, and they all live on my street. And that's 6 of 15 people, so that's 40%. So that's a hell of a lot. And I'm sure there's thousands of people in my community that I could co-create with if I just knew of them, but we're not visible to each other. So the old structures are still dominating how the society works, the corporations and the governance structures, but the compassionate people are not yet visible to each other. We don't have a tool for that. And that's why we have created the map. So I will share my screen. So here is the map of co-creators, which we launched, I would say, last week. And we can reach out to each other. Yeah, the purpose of this is to see each other. Why don't I just show you how it works? So you register by either representing myself or some kind of organization, a government, commercial, or a non-profit organization. You put in the email and where you are. It has chosen, of course, the country Sweden, which because I'm here, and the zip code, and you don't need to put in anything else. But you need to put in which sector you're interested in. And I am interested in community governance. So that's what I've selected. And I'm also interested in information infrastructure, which is this map and some websites. And I'm also interested in caring business, which is my background from my past life. And then click the buttons that I've made a self-assessment of myself, that I'm not here to sell my services or to convince everybody that I have the answer, but that I'm an open-minded person who wants to co-create with others who have good inputs and accept the terms and conditions, and they're very easy. So when that is done, we can click on the OK button, and we will then get an email to make sure that it comes from you as opposed to somebody else who is impersonating you. So you verify that on in your inbox, and then you will appear. So this is how I appear in community governance, information infrastructure, and caring business. And I can choose these 2 guys here in New Zealand. Here's one person who is present with everything, address and phone number and about and the website. Or you can appear as this person with nothing, only the zip code and the interests.
So I'm wondering, just for this part, if we might actually do this again and maybe either have someone like Lisa. Yeah, Lisa, let's lean on you. And if you're open to doing it.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so let's register Lisa Walker.
Okay, you want to be there as yourself or as a representative of an organization?
Well, right now I put me, and I'll
Right.
deal with it later. I assume you can enter twice as yourself and as an organization, or no?
Yeah, you can enter another organization, any kind of organization.
So I
So-
could, okay, so let's just put me here.
Right, and your
Okay.
email address?
Okay, LR Walker. Well, let's put, oh, goodness. Okay, LR Walker 04
LR Walker.
04
Hmm.
at yahoo.com.
And it's important to know that, you know, you're going to be anonymous. So the people will not be writing to you directly, knowing who they are contacting. So Lisa's from the US.
So
And-
I'm curious, so you can put Texas in there. The guy was able to enter just a zip code in the last showing and it populated for him. So how did that
Exactly.
happen?
Yeah. So your zip code is
78703.
okay.
So how
Do you
did that
want to? Do you want your first name to show up or nothing?
happen? You can put my first name, Lesa.
And then I will take away my preferences here and put in your preferences.
Oh my, this is impossible to do right.
Well,
Okay.
you could come back and change it.
Okay, oh goodness. Oh, well, yeah, lots. Can you put multiple areas of interest?
Just one.
We need one primary and then as many secondary as you like.
Oh my goodness. I mean,
It's
It's
going to
it.
be, it's going to be either education, my guess, or health.
currently I'm big in environment. That's
Ah,
my
okay.
current focus of the day, but I have all the interests above. I
Well,
guess climate.
So that is
Anyway.
so that is now your primary interest, and that will define the color of the pin, which represents you on the map.
Oh, okay. Well, you can go in and change or no?
Yes, you can deregister and then register again.
Oh my, okay, deregister. All right. Then put, I guess, goodness, health and well-being.
Anything particular or all of the above?
All of them, if you can accept that.
Well, yeah, we can.
Thank you.
And no education?
Well, that's in part of all the other, you know,
Okay.
it's integral to the other. Education is, oh, you can click education as well. I see on
Yeah,
secondary areas.
can-
Oh, goodness. Well, there you have a lot of them. I would say there, yeah, it's all. Unfortunately, they're going to be clicking away.
That's okay.
And then I would also say relations and peace.
They
You're
used
gonna
to
have,
do. Yeah.
you're gonna have, you might as well check all of them off. Arts and culture. Anyway, I could go back in, but I have a lot of interests because they span all these areas really.
Okay.
I dabble in a lot of things.
So Ola, Lisa
Let's
asked a question and I think you didn't hear it. So maybe Lisa, if you ask it again.
Arts and culture I would put in there. The question I had originally was how did the guy get away with just putting in his zip code and nothing else showed but his zip code on the map?
That is what it will do for you too. If I take away Lisa here, it will just show your zip code. These three fields will not be visible.
Oh, okay.
So why don't we just
why do you get the email then? Is it for whose use?
Thank you for the good question. It is so that when we click OK on this, you will get an email to say that it's you who have registered.
I got you. I got you. Okay.
And
yeah.
also, if somebody in Texas see that you are interested in the climate and also have interests in education and peace and everything else you had, may think that you're an exciting person, then they can click on your marker and send you an email. We'll do that shortly.
Okay. You can put my name in there. You took it out for some reason.
Yeah.
But Lesa. Yeah. All right. Cool.
And I'll show you the self-assessment. Appearing as a co-creator on this map is an invitation to participate in perhaps the greatest adventure of all time. co-creating the society that all of our hearts desire, birthing paradise on earth. A co-creator knows and feels that all of life is one interconnected whole, has inner peace and harmony, and has overcome the ego-based need for personal recognition, can join others in heart resonance and don't work against anybody, is dedicated to his or her life purpose, serving higher principles such as love, heartfelt truth, wisdom, peace, and beauty, and is ideally able to perceive the field or the universal heart energy and receive guidance from it. If this is you, please register on the map of co-creators. That was the self-assessment. If you feel like that's roughly you.
Yeah, the thing about working against anybody is interesting. I know compassion is supposed to take care of everything, but there is a certain way I stand up for things and would say I work against them. But I don't know, that's just something that struck me as an interesting thing that I grapple with. But go ahead, yes, I guess I will accept it, but I am not.
I think if you do it with compassion, you will recognize that there's things that they can learn that you can share with them.
There you go. All right.
And I'll show you the terms and conditions. We will not share your email address with anybody. All other information that you enter will be displayed on the map, and you displayed your first name. I give my consent to allow others who appear on the map to send emails to me, and disclose my own email address to others on the map when I send emails to them. I confirm that I made it.
Sorry, just about that. But they can phone us?
No, there's no phone number.
There's no phone number? Okay.
If you look here, there's no phone number entered here.
In this case.
In this case, right.
But if I did write my phone number there, then
they could call you.
They could phone.
But even if you don't write anything, you can be contacted. I can send an email to Lisa, even though I don't have a name or anything.
How does that happen? If you want to finish and I'm going ahead.
No, that's cool. It happens in that the marker that is Lisa.
You want to finish, Lisa, and then we can see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that later. Yeah. So the terms and conditions.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. We will only send emails that you will only send emails to invite others to co-create a more compassionate world with you. Never use harmful language and agree to be removed from the map if the webmaster determines that you violate these terms. So those were the terms and conditions.
Yeah.
And now I will click OK.
Can you wait? Can you change my email? That's a personal email. Maybe compassionateaustin@gmail.com. Assuming I can use that same email when I register for the organization.
No, you can't. You can only, there's only one email address per pin. So
okay, put peacegreenhealth@gmail.com. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep.
But that's cool. That's cool.
peacegreenhealth@gmail.com. All right, there you go. Thanks.
Okay. So now you will see here that an email has been sent.
Okay.
To your peacegreenhealth@gmail.com.
Okay. So yeah, I'll have to go in.
Can you open your Gmail account?
Let me do that now. Okay, let me.
Yeah.
I need to somehow close or minimize. Hang on, I need to minimize this.
Where in Texas are you?
Austin?
Okay.
Okay, hold on a minute. I have to go into switch accounts. No, actually, I'm here. Hold on.
Let's help me. Where is Austin? I'm not that.
I think that you're going to
I'm
be
in
the
the
purple.
center.
Yeah, the purple one, I think, might be Lisa.
Okay, I got the email. I got the
Okay.
email. And so I click register, which I will
Right.
do.
Hmm.
I have done it. Says thanks for signing up for the map of co-creators. Your email address is verified. Okay,
There you
So
go.
here you are.
so great. Secondary areas. Universe. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
that's
fine.
cool. Yeah.
Fine. Cool. Very, very awesome. And
Now-
I can go in and do Compassionate Austin separately, I assume.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
And let's, Ola, if you can, look at the filter for people.
Sure. So you chose let's see, you chose, no, that wasn't you.
No,
Uh,
that's San Antonio. So a little north,
Oh, it should be right down in there. Try the purple P. No, that's not it.
yeah,
Try the green P.
environment, right? You
The green
chose.
P. There you are.
Yeah, so let's now choose, go to the filter and we will choose environment. And then here are the people
Ooh,
that
need
right
more
now
people
have
in
signed up.
environment. Need
The
more
3
of that.
people in the world have signed up for the environment so far.
Okay. Got to work on that.
yeah. So here's the thing. Let's consider that the people who are the co-leads for environment begin to invite all of the partners to the
Hmm.
charter on environment.
Yeah.
And even if only 10% of that group fills this out, that's a start. But then the next level to begin to delve into is that each of those partner organizations or each of those individual members would do the same thing by inviting other people who might be interested in co-creating something. So Ola, let's say that one of, like Lisa wants to contact these 3 people. How does she do that?
Yeah, why don't I contact Lisa?
Okay. Good.
So here is a person, no, that was not Lisa, that was Karen.
The
So
green
here-
one.
So here is Lisa.
Mhm.
And I think her profile is exciting. So I will click on select and notice what happens next to register when I click select. Send invitation appeared here.
Where is select?
It is at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I have now selected Lisa and I will send an invitation. And my email address is this, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Subject, co-create. Can we work together, blah, 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 blah. Oops. So I will now click OK. And then it says here, an email has been sent. Please read it and confirm your email address. So it wants to know that it was me who sent the email to Lisa. So I'll refresh here. And then the email, the map of co-creator asked if it was me who was writing to Lisa, and I say yes. So your message is sent. So I say okay. And now, Lisa, you should have an email message from me, even though your email address is not listed here.
Yes, I do. It says, another person on the map would like to invite you to a co-creation. Here's the invitation. And then it gives your email address
Right.
and message. Please reply to the sender if you're interested in learning more about this opportunity. Okay.
Mhm.
And
So I
Ola-
could, So I could choose everybody on this map if I wanted to, and send an email to them.
Now, can you do that?
that?
Can you just put in several people in the one email?
Yes, yes. So I can select Lisa, and I can select Karen, and I can select whoever this is, Steve.
Steve, yeah,
Yeah. And then I will send an invitation to all of them.
okay.
How do I know that's happening? Because then so I just go on top of the dot. Okay, right. So they're in red. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the ones I've selected have gotten a green star on them, or a red star on them, sorry.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
you could send it now as a trial to who just registered their business, me and that person's business, and see if it works. Oh, you tested it, I'm sure, so.
I can test with you and Marilyn.
Just before we do that, I see that Kira's hand is up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Kira-
sorry, I had a hard time getting on and then I
yeah.
had to save a baby bird. So we have Compassionate Arts has two campaigns. I'm also part of Compassionate San Diego and Compassionate California. So I didn't know how the primary, I would say our primary is equal to our, on health and wellness is equal to our climate at this point. How would that work?
So if you want to register something, and you see, it can only appear with one color on the map.
Okay.
So you have to, and that also creates for the filtering opportunity. So I can choose here education, and then all the yellow ones will remain. So you have to, but if there are a couple of areas that are important, maybe you can have a couple of registrations with different email addresses.
Okay, here's an example, Kira. Let's say that your primary interest is peace. Your secondary interest is art. And so what you would do if you had a project that you wanted to compose a mural, an art mural to depict a certain aspect of peace, you would go in and filter people for peace and filter people for art. And then in the message that you would be sending, you would outline what it is that you're interested in, what the concept might be, and how others might help you.
Okay,
And then you'd send emails to them.
Yeah, so
Okay.
there's a good opportunity to describe more in the about section here.
Okay, thank you. That makes sense. Thanks.
How do you deregister if you need to change something?
You just click in the top right corner here.
Oh, right there. Okay, great.
And we should point out that there's a lot of information under about that I think is really worthwhile reading. So, and then also, make certain that you take advantage of all of the theme areas or the names up in the navigation bar.
I was going to mention, I think this is where people should be led to at first, so they know, because I think it's important that they read what it's about first and then go into the map. Because if you come here, it is kind of confusing or not really clear.
I think maybe it does, because that's where I was directed to when I first tried to get on without the link that was in the chat.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it wouldn't be difficult to switch about being the first in the navigation bar, about, register, help, deregister.
That's cool. I agree.
Yeah. I think
We'll
that
do
would.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So is this, friendly to people in different languages?
Good question.
What was the question? Friendly to different?
Languages.
We are in the process, this was launched last week, and we feel it's now stable. And we are now, as we are speaking, pulling out all of the messages, all of the emails, all of the about, help, register, deregister, all of the messages that you have, an email has been sent into a particular file, language file. And so that we can, as a next step, translate all of those messages into Spanish, and then maybe, and then certainly other languages also. So that is work in progress, but this was just launched last week. So
Yeah.
bear with us for a couple of more weeks and we will get to it.
Yeah. I think Sarah's hand is up.
Yes, I wanted to give you an example how cool this is. So yesterday I went on to, I wanted to insert new information. So I deregistered and then re-registered. Then I was curious, okay, who else from my community has registered? And I saw a name that sounded very familiar. I didn't know the person, but is close to where I live. And I clicked and I'm like, let me check the website. And it so happened that it was a Women and Girls partner who I had reached out to last week. We're in our Women and Girls, we're reaching out to our partners, and I had included the mapping link, and so she had gone on there and she had registered. And so I sent her another email just saying, I sent her an invite via the map, and we've connected. So we're going to meet next week in person, because she's both in California and here in the city of Caledon. So I was like, whoa, this is so cool. I would not have known that if I hadn't been on this map. So just discovering people, even connecting with your partners in each sector, or I'm also spearheading the Compassionate York Region initiative. So I'll now register that name as well. But that was just so cool. So yeah, I invite you to just experiment with this. It's really, it's got me even more excited. So I'll be reaching out to people to register. I can explain it now that I've made that connection. It's we had a few people in our team, Compassion York Region team, who, after they received the confirmation email, once you've registered, you receive a confirmation email, and in that it has this, beware of who you invite, be mindful of what kind of people you invite. They actually, two of them, they've got put off a little bit. They said, oh, wait, what did I put my name up to? What is this about? Are we excluding people? So I had that conversation with them. I had not gotten that understanding. It is just being very aware of who are we inviting. Am I just going to invite, my neighbors? And, I could, but who do I know of in my community that can be defined as a co-creator, who is willing to look at the bigger picture and work and collaborate? So the feedback has been mixed, but I think the more those of us who really experiment and we can become great ambassadors for this, it will help people feel comfortable about trying something new.
Yeah. And I think that if you use the about what's there, that gives a little bit more information and definition to the invitation. And, as you say, Sarah, I mean, if you think about the fact that, you might have an imam or a minister, pastor sign for, either themselves or an institution, but if they in turn would, just introduce this in meetings, consider how many people you would have, most probably within a designated area. People, as Ola was saying, they live within your community, but they're not visible to you. And they they may very well be interested in the kinds of things that you are doing with Compassionate Richmond Hills or the York region. I'm really excited about this. So, Are there
Can you
any-
share it publicly? I mean, or is there some concern about putting it out just to any and everybody? I was kind of confused about the
We-
concerns that we had.
well, we had concern in the beginning just to pilot it, to test it, to see, what are the kinks. But we've been very pleased. There were a few, they've been addressed, and like just having this meeting today, obviously one decision is to reconfigure the navigation bar. But yes, please, I mean, spread it through your channels. And, I know Susan DeGaia through your environmental channels, and Lisa through Compassionate Austin, and Kira through, both regional San Diego, Compassionate California, and don't forget all of your art connections that you have. And like right now, I just thought of how many museums and art galleries are beginning to have compassion as part of their pursuit. Like in Antwerp, we're working on an exhibit, helping to work on an exhibit on compassion, and there have been a number of these kinds of things. So it just helped me remember that I should contact them and introduce them to the map. So Kira, go ahead. You have your hand.
So I'm glad you brought that up, Marilyn, because we have Compassionate Arts always works in partnership.
Mhm.
And we probably work with 4,000 or 5,000 people across the country, and even have leadership in Canada right now that are on our calls. So how would that work? Should we have our leadership, because it's a coalition, should we have like the main people that are involved register, and then also invite the museums and places like that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Ola assures me that we can get millions and millions of people on this map.
When the response time gets slow, give me a call and we will buy more capacity.
I don't know about millions. I don't think I can handle that.
No,
We
you don't
will.
have,
We will.
yeah, we will collectively. You don't have to worry about doing it on your own.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Okay. I know that the time we're up, but I think that what I'll do is I'm going to encourage you to go to the charter website, and in the navigation bar, look at communities. I think you're going to find it to be very exciting. We're going to have another one of these and another one of these, because we really want to make certain that we introduce this to as many people as possible. And so the one thing, if you can just bear with me, and maybe Ola, if you can stop sharing your screen, is I want you to think about what's happening in your communities that could be replicated in other communities. So for example, for 4 years now, the charter has been involved with something called the Compassion Education Summit, where we have brought 15 different schools together, 4 to 6 representatives from each school from 7 countries, to spend 3 to 4 days together. And there's a whole process that we go through in doing that program. That is replicable in any place in the world. And so that's just one example. The Compassion Tree Project that's happening through the charter, that is now part of the efforts in Monterrey, Mexico, Fayetteville, Arkansas, can be replicated in other places. So what we want to do is to create an online booklet that just gives you, it's just going to be, okay, here's what it has been. Maybe here are some suggestions for innovations, you take it further. And if there's a, kind of a procedure or something, we'll include that. But, and I'll give you one more example. Anytown Anytown is a program, education program in the summer for teens. And so it's been very successful for a number of years in Las Vegas. It too can be replicated. So that's what we're looking for. Those kinds of activities that and programs that people can share. They're benchmarks for others to take advantage of, basically. And for you, we're putting it out there so that you can just take the idea, you can introduce it, you can change it, but it's a way to really energize different groups within your communities. So I just wanted to share that. And I think we're going to start that as soon as possible. We're just going to start with a few examples, and then we'll keep, letting people know that they're there. And just like that map, and that's going to be the first call probably for people in the map from us. We have this idea, and what can you do to contribute to that idea? So thank you so much for being so patient today.
I have some suggestions about the layout of the web page and design stuff. So Ole, can I get back to you at some point today, tomorrow? And we
Absolutely. Do you have my email address?
I should have it somewhere. I'm sure I can find it. So.
Lisa.
What's the world game, real quick?
Oh, the world game. Oh, thank you. That's so important. The World Game comes to us from the International Futures Forum in the UK. And the World Game takes about 6 to 7 hours to go through the simulation. The idea is really for communities, and that's why we want to have at least 2 to 3 representatives from each community in which we are involved. We can only do the World Game with about 40, 50 people tops, and it's a pilot. And the idea is that a group comes together and works on issues that exist in their community. You formulate a question and you work through the game itself. If you go to the communities page, and on the bottom, it says class, I think this is where it is, it says classes. All of the description is there. I'm going to put it in the newsletter so that we have communities. Like right now, I think Mexico is considering 3 to 6 people to come. We have our lead volunteers who are going to participate. We'd love for Austin, and obviously the York region, and a group from California like San Diego, for example, so that we could really try this out, because it could be a really innovative way and a very necessary look at what the issues are in your community and how you can really begin to think of action plans for your community. So that's what it is. And so, and it is, if you, let me just see if I can find it real quickly on.
For a timeline for this registration or whatever?
Yeah, I have everything ready for you here. Let me go back to, I'm so sorry here. I will, here it is, at least for the dates. Let me open. Okay, here it is, June 6th and 20th, 8:30 to 10, and then June 27th, 8:30 to 10:30. So.
Do you have the link? Can you put the link in the chat?
I can't. Susan DeGaia appreciates this, but for some reason I can't do that. I have to figure out how to do that. But Lisa, it'll be in the next newsletter.
Okay.
And again, if you go to communities and you go down to classes, it's there, big description of it.
Great, awesome.
Okay. Thank you all so much for hanging, well, being with us with all of our difficulties and hanging on here. Any more questions or anything before we go? Okay, thanks so much.
Bye.
See you
Thank you,
next time.
everyone.
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.